Let's get straight into this cute wavy bucket hat. So I have this 4mm yarn with a 5mm hook. Now it's my personal preference to go up a size in the hooks only because it makes moving in and out of the loops a little bit easier for me. Now we're starting this project with the magic loop. Make sure the X is on the back of your fingers when you're doing this. And if you don't know how to do a magic loop at all, let me know down in the comments and I'm going to make another video just for that. So now that you have your magic loop started, you're going to slowly take your hand out of the loop and then tighten all your strings straight to the yarn. Now getting your grip on the yarn in the beginning can be a bit of a challenge, but just keep going, you'll get the hang of it. So I always chain 2 and then we're going to start with doing 10 to 12 double crochets. It depends on how big the person's head is that you're making this for. But I personally figured that 10 is like the best size for most people. And remember, when you're doing your double crochet, you have to yarn over first. I'm going to be doing 10 double crochets, so I'll meet you back at the center. And remember, you can stop and start this video as many times as you need to catch up. If you have any questions, just please let me know in the comments. And don't be afraid to count your chains. Don't just think you're going to know and remember how many chains you're on. Count your chains. When you're all done, you're going to pull the string tight and it's going to all come and form a circle. Now, you might have to rearrange some things, get your yarn in the right way. I like my string to be hanging in the middle, and we're going to do what's called a slip stitch to seal this first row. See, when it's all pulled nice and tight, we have a nice circle. This is our base chain to start with. So remember, always chain 2 before you start the next row. And we're going to start this one by putting 2 double crochets in each gap. I don't know if you can see the gaps in between, but 2 double crochets are going to go in between those. And each of these that I'm showing you right here are the chains. Now, your first chain can start as 1 double crochet, so you're going to add another double crochet in the same loop, and then 2 double crochets in each loop until you meet back at your starting point. So this is what you should be looking like right now after you have a couple stitches done. So again, 2 double crochets in each loop. Now do that real quick and then meet me right back at the start. Okay, so we're finishing off our second row, and then again, we're going to do a double crochet, and then we're going to finish it off with a slip stitch and a chain 2. Every time at the end, you want to remember that you chain 2 to start your next row. Okay, so here we are at the very end. We're getting ready to slip stitch. So you want to slip stitch into your second stitch and then pull it all the way and then chain 2. You see how nice our circle is already forming? This is the very tippy top of the hat. This is the middle of the hat. So chain 2. And now for this pattern, you are going to do every other one is going to be a double crochet. So you're going to do a single crochet and then a double and then 2 double crochets in one. So 1 double crochet in the first one, and then the second loop you're going to do 2 double crochets, and you're going to follow that pattern all the way around. So it's going to go 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and you're going to do that all the way around for this row. Now, it doesn't really matter like how you do it, but you have to follow a pattern. You can either start off with 2 double crochets and go into 1 double crochet, or start off with 1 double crochet and go into 2 double crochets. But you have to follow that pattern all the way around. So you can see how it's starting to look now. You see the pattern: 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet. So we're going to do that pattern all the way around. And now we're ready to close this up and move on to our 4th round. So these rows are called increase rows when we're doing certain patterns like this. So every row is going to have a different pattern. So just like we did 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochets, now we're going to go do 2 single crochets, and then on the 3rd loop you're going to do a double crochet. So it's going to go 1 crochet, 1 crochet, and then 2 double crochets. So all these are double crochets. Sorry if it sounds a little bit confusing, but the pattern is 1 1 2 1 1 2, and that's going to be the pattern for going all the way around. 1 double crochet in one loop, another double crochet in another loop, and then 2 double crochets in the next loop. So I'm trying to show you guys this up close as possible. If you can see the chains that I'm talking about and the areas that I'm talking about. So one double crochet, one double crochet, two double crochets all the way around, and then I'll meet you back at the starting point. Remember to pause and rewind this video at any time that you need. Okay, so now we are back, closing up our fourth round. And you always want to end on a double crochet on your increase rows just because it flows better. So again, ended on double crochet. Now we're going to do our slip stitch and we're going to start our fifth row. So the center of the hat is going to consist of 6 rows. The side of the hat is going to consist of 6 rows. So 12 rows total. Now, after we do our chain 2, the pattern that we're going to follow for this row is going to be one double crochet, one double crochet, one double crochet, and then 2 double crochets. So in your first we're going to do one double crochet, one double crochet, another double crochet, and then in that fourth loop, you're going to do 2 double crochets. So you're going to follow that pattern all the way around. 1, 1, 1, and then on the third one, 2 double crochets. Let me know if I'm not making any sense, but the pattern that we're at now is one double crochet, one double crochet, one double crochet, and then on that final section, it's going to be 2 double crochets in one loop, and you're going to follow that pattern all the way around. So we're working on our 5th increase row. So work on that, and then I'll meet you back to close it up. So I don't know how in the world I missed recording the 6th row, but the 6th row, the pattern is one double crochet, one double crochet, one double crochet, one double crochet, and then on your 5th loop, that's when you're going to do the 2 double crochets in one loop. Now, if you couldn't grasp that, just be like, nah, sis, you got to redo the whole video. And without a doubt, I will redo the whole video. So right now we are closing up our 6th row. So if you count from the center out to the edges, we should have 6 rows. Remember I said the top of the hat was 6 rows, and then the side of the hat was another 6 rows. And we always start the next row with a chain of 2. So I gotta double check my count because I just literally don't know how I forgot to record the 6th row. But anyway, going into the 7th row, I had to zoom in for you guys because we're only gonna go through the back loop. We're gonna put one double crochet, a single double crochet in each of the loops going all the way around, solely in the first row, like the first line of the chain. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm literally doing my best to show you guys that I'm only going through the front loop all the way around, one crochet in each loop all the way around. So I had to try to see if I can get it a little closer up so you can see exactly what I'm doing only in the first loop. And again, we're doing that all the way around. So I'll meet you back at the start to close it up. Before I do that, I just want to show you guys how now the hat is starting to kind of fold in because that is going to be the side of the hat. So now we are working on that pattern to get the hat to, like, we're forming our head now. So again, finish this row all the way around and then I'll meet you back to close it up. Okay, so now we are closing up this 7th row. Remember, the 7th row only went through the back loops. So again, closing up the same way, slip stitch, and then chain 2, and then we're going to start our 8th row. So our 8th row through our 12th row is going to be very simple. It's just going to be one double crochet all the way around. There won't be any increase rows in this part, which is good because you can kind of zip through it a little bit quicker. So as we do this, remember this is rows 8 through 12 are all going to be single double crochets all the way around for each row, and do not forget to chain 2. Now that we are closing up this row, now we're going to start the brim of the hat. Remember, slip stitch and chain 2. So how we just went through the back loop for the top part. Now to start the brim, we're going to go through the loop that's closest to you and only that loop. So we're going to do a single double crochet in each of those loops that's closest to you, because now we're starting the brim, so the hat needs to start flipping out a little bit. So we're going to get this ready, and then remember to yarn over, and then one double crochet in each of the loops that's closest to you, not the entire chain, but just the piece of yarn that's closest to you. If you need to stop, rewind, pause, whatever you need to do to get a hold of where we are, just please do that. Now again, this is the brim of the hat. So this technique is going to have the hat flipping outwards like the brim. So remember, we're making a wavy bucket hat. So we're going to do this all the way around, and then we can start the waves of our bucket hat. Okay, boom, we are done with that row. And now do you see how the whole entire hat is like it's giving bucket? It really is starting to give bucket. And this is just the first row of the actual brim of the hat. So now what we're going to do is do the 2 double crochets in each loop, just like we did at the very beginning. And that's going to start giving us our wave effect. So 2 double crochets in each loop all the way around the bucket hat, okay? All the way around. 2 double crochets in each loop, and this is going to start to give us that wavy effect that we're looking for. Okay, so we're closing up that first round, and then we're going to do only 1 increase row. So remember, the increase row, that pattern is 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, all the way around. And this is going to further enhance that wavy look. So again, it's 1 double crochet, and then in your next loop, it's going to be 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, all the way around. And you guys will really start to see the hat wave up. I'm just so excited because I love what this is giving. The color scheme, everything. I just know this hat is going to turn out to be so cute. And I definitely want to see you guys' hats if you have followed along in this video. I want to see what you guys have accomplished. The waves are starting to form, you guys. So this hat is almost done. Almost done. After this increase row, we're going to have 2 more rows of just single crochets all the way around, and then you guys, our hat will be done. Okay, so we're finishing out our last row, and remember, this is just single double crochets. We're going all the way back around the hat, and then when we get to the end, we're going to close it up, and this time we're going to close it up and we're going to pull the string tight at the end and then clip the extra string off, because our hat is finished, you guys. We are done with this. So when you go to make that final slip stitch, that's when you're going to pull tight. Then you're going to grab your scissors and cut off enough so that you can sew the rest of the unfinished yarn into the hat, so you can have a little bit of leeway. So I'm going to take my pink needle, and then I'm going to weave it in and out, and kind of blend it in. Some people cut theirs shorter, some people cut theirs longer. I like mine a little bit longer so that I know that the hat is not going to come apart, and that maybe I can do some more stitches to help reinforce things. And remember, y'all, if this video was not clear enough, please let me know, because I will be more than happy to record another one for y'all. But after we're done with that, look at what we have. A cute wavy crochet bucket hat. And remember, y'all, we are creating to relate. So if this helped you in any way possible, please let me know down in the comments.